we start harvesting the honey. But they're like, what do we do with it? I said, guys, we're going to sell it. We have sold every jar.
The question we want to start off today's show with is, have you ever considered refinancing your finances or refinancing your retirement? What does that even mean, and what could it possibly mean for you? Ryan, my friend, always a good time to be here with you. How are you this week?
I am excellent. It's been a great week at the office. We've had some awesome stuff happening. Our team is growing so fast, all right? And so we have like this big conference room, and we all meet there on Monday. And I try not to do a long team meeting because they can get long, you know.
Sure, and everyone's got stuff to do,
for
right?
For sure, yeah, they do. But, you know, I just like to huddle, you know,
Sure,
and there's
yeah.
like, we're up to 19 people now.
So exciting.
So my daughter, Aria, is 7. And she comes to the office with my wife the other day, and she had a doctor's appointment or something like that. And so I'm sitting at this conference room table and have all these people around me, and I'm directing this meeting. And she comes around the corner to the conference room, and she's trying to ask me if she can have something from the client lounge, like a snack or something.
Right.
And I look at her, and I say, come here, come in here. And I bring her in, and I said, listen, one day, this is going to be yours, and you're going to be sitting at this table. And she hopped on my lap and sat there the entire time. Just listened and watched and listened.
Wow.
And she's like, Dad, I had no idea of like what you actually do. You know, you just talk to people all day long.
Oh, how precious.
Pretty cool.
That is really cool.
Pretty cool.
And what a legacy that you're, you know, being able to model this for her and then being able to show her this is what can be. And it's really about changing lives for the better.
And we are teaching them now. We are teaching them now. A buddy of mine's into bees. So I got into bees, like honeybees.
Yeah.
So we built this honeybee hive, okay? And, you know, you had to get out of the box. It comes at 1,000 pizzas, way worse than any IKEA thing.
Piece of furniture you've ever put together,
terrible,
right?
And so we start building this thing, and they just think that we're just going to have bees. So you have to build it, put it together, you have to stain it, you have to paint it, because it's going to be outside in the outdoors. And so then once you've got it ready to go, you call somebody and you buy bees. And they bring you a box of bees, and they're these like 4 frames of bees. So we put the bees in, they've got their bee suits on with me, and we're putting the bees in the hive, and they're like, okay, cool. Well, then the bees start making honey, and they're not aggressive. We'll go out there and check on them, and you can start seeing these things, where the honey is, fill up. So finally, and it didn't take long at all. These bees were very busy, all right? All these frames of honey were full. So we go out there, and we start harvesting the honey.
Right.
And so my kids are like, okay, Dad, now we've made honey. I'm like, yeah, well, the bees made honey. We just harvested it.
Right.
But they're like, what do we do with it? I said, guys, we're going to sell it. We're going to sell this honey. We have sold every jar.
Wow.
And it was awesome. So my kids are starting to learn a lot about business and planning and that sort of thing at an early age, because it's a lot of reason why we do this show, Kristen, is they don't teach financial education, you know, in school. They don't teach how to balance a checkbook, how to manage credit card debt. I mean, I remember when I was in flight school, Discover Card sent me a $10,000 credit card. I thought they sent me a $10,000 check in the mail as I went in the lottery, right? You know? And so they don't teach this stuff. And that really is why we do this show, is to provide financial education in a way that's not salesy or not pressure or that sort of thing. So I don't know why I went off on that tangent, teaching my daughter that sort of thing, but just...
Well, it's about educating and empowering people, and being able to teach them at the young age is such a gift. And, you know, as you were talking, I kind of was smiling, thinking to myself, I hope that, you know, 20 plus years from now, we get to be on the show and Aria's here with you, and she shares that memory of the moment that it's clicked for her,
right? It very well might.
Which
it very
is
well
so
might.
awesome.
This is another kind of funny story about that. So we decided that we were going to, people wanted the honey locally because of allergies. So we got out of the honey business.
Okay.
We got into the local allergy relief business. And so now the jars of honey were going for $25 a jar.
Wow.
So we had a neighbor come over, and she wanted 2 jars, and she brought a $50 bill. And Aria's like, that's not $25. I'm like, Aria, it's two $25. No, Dad, I 2 20s and a 10, or 2 20s and 2 5s. That's what I want. This is not right.
And you're trying to show, no, this is a really good thing to have a $50 bill, right? How precious.
I know, it's good stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
Anyway, folks, listen, let's talk about some financial stuff. You know, I do believe It is important to talk about finances with your kids and your loved ones. Don't wait until it's too late to have that conversation.
Or until they're thrust into the real world and then struggling to figure it all out, right?
But you got to be careful too, because you don't want your kids to find out that mom and dad are gazillionaires, and all of a sudden the kids feel like they don't have to work anymore because you're their job, right? They inherit your money in your job. So, as part of what we do at Allied Wealth is our planning process. We're really big on legacy planning, having a plan of what's going to happen with your money when you pass away. And this is nothing that Krista and I were supposed to talk about on the show, by the way. So I'm
we'll bring it back around.
We'll bring
it's
it back around. It's fine.
Yes.
But we do. I mean, so with planning for legacy, you want to make sure that your assets remaining pass to the next generation as smoothly as possible, with the least amount of income taxes paid, all right? The least amount of burden to your family, the least amount of mess, all right? And folks, don't die with an unplanned estate. I have seen the strongest of family units just destroyed.
Yes.
Because, and I'm not being snide here, but like things like who gets grandma's dishes in some cases, right?
It's amazing what can tear a family apart.
It really is, Kristen, and it's sad to see, and I've seen it more times than I would have liked to.
Right.
And it can be totally prevented by having a proper estate plan.
Yes, for sure. I always say, even though estate planning is not the most fun thing to think about, it's by far one of the most loving things that you can ever do for those that you leave behind. Because when you're grieving, that is not the time on top of everything else you want to wade through that mess and that nightmare, and then it can lead to a lot of in-family fighting, strife, and you want to pass on a legacy of peace, not those things.
You want your family to still get together for holidays and it not be weird, get together for Thanksgiving and it not be weird. And folks, as part of what we do on the show, we offer a certified financial plan done by our team of certified financial planners. And we actually help you with the proper estate plan. We'll evaluate what you have. If some of the stuff we can do in-house, we'll help you. If not, we have a really, really, really great partnership with a local estate planning attorney that can help you too. And we'll send you that direction. And you'll get a discount, by the way, all right? So if that interests you at all to like have a planned estate and have peace of mind, to know your family's going to still love each other once you pass away and go on to meet your maker, call us, 844-944-7555. Again, 844-944-7555. You can also text the word plan to 21,000. Again, text the word plan to 21,000. And lastly, there's a QR code.
There we go. The bottom right-hand corner of your screen.
There's a QR code. If you click that QR code, it'll take you to a website where you can access it as well.
Yes, awesome. Ryan, thank you. I'm excited to continue this conversation with you. We never know where it's going to lead, but it's always with your best interests in mind. That's why we do this show. We want you to be educated and empowered to make the best decisions possible with your hard-earned money. But you have to pick up the phone and call to claim that complimentary written financial plan to see what the specifics would be for you. So again, we invite you to call 844-944-7555, or again, text the word plan to 21,000 or scan that QR code, and that will get you connected as well.